2 years since a mass shooting claimed 3 lives in Colorado Springs tonight. A look at the student-led vigil to remember the fallen.
After 2 days of record heat, we're looking ahead to much colder temperatures and even some snow chances for Tuesday in your First Alert 5 forecast.
People are kind of wondering, am I really safe right now?
A record number of background checks for gun sales filed on Black Friday here in Colorado. Local gun dealers talk about why they're seeing a boom in sales.
Always watching out for you. This is KOAA News 5 at 10.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on News 5 at 10 on this Monday night. I'm Rob Quirk.
And I'm Elizabeth Watts. Today marks 2 years since Colorado Springs was thrust into international headlines when a heavily armed gunman opened fire at the Planned Parenthood facility on Centennial Boulevard. 9 people injured, including 5 police officers. 3 people killed, among them 44-year-old UCCS police officer Garrett Swayze. Zach Thaxton at that vigil tonight. He's live from the university with more in our top story. Zach?
Yeah, that vigil happened here right in front of the mountain lion statue on campus. The Planned Parenthood shooting opened everyone's eyes to the fact that the types of mass shootings we've seen all across the country can happen here too. Well, since then, the community has come forward to help ensure that our local officers are better prepared should they ever encounter a scenario like that again.
We miss him and we love him, and we're proud of him.
His honor and his sacrifice is not forgotten.
A little more than a dozen gather on the UCCS campus on the anniversary of the Planned Parenthood shooting to remember UCCS officer Garrett Swayze for his sacrifice 2 years ago.
As time has gone by, it's easier to remember the good times. It's easier to remember the fun that we had.
Swayze, along with civilians Kier Stewart and Jennifer Markovsky, died in the hail of bullets fired by admitted gunman Robert Deere.
Shot at. He's behind Planned Parenthood.
Deere remains mentally incompetent to stand trial for the crime. In the 2 years since the shooting, protection for local officers who could someday face a similar situation has been dramatically improved.
We experienced as a community a worst case scenario with an active shooter.
Nonprofit organization Shield 616 has raised more than $1 million the past 2 years to equip roughly 3/4 of the region's 1,200 law enforcement officers with rifle-rated ballistic gear that colleagues believe could have saved Swayze's life if he had been wearing it.
Where it enters my conscious thought process is when I go home. I see my family, I see my children, and then I think, I'm glad that I have that extra little bit of protection.
By mid-January, the entire Colorado Springs police force will be equipped with gear donated by Shield 616. UCCS police were equipped last year.
To be blunt, they provided gear that the department can't afford to provide each individual officer, and most individual officers can't afford.
When they're going into these situations, they need to be protected against that threat if we expect them to protect us.
All in the hopes that another anniversary vigil like this will never have to happen for another officer ever again. The next big project for Shield 616, they say, is bulletproofing local patrol vehicles. Watching out for you in Colorado Springs, Zach Thaxton.